everyone, I'm Andarina Sukmawati. Today I'm going to presentation about morphology, the words of language. First, a content words and function words. Language makes an important distinction between two kinds of word content words and function words. Nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs are the content words. These words denote concepts such as objects, actions, attributes, and ideas that we can think about like children, anarchism, soar, and purple. Content words called the open class words because we can and regularly do add new words to this class. Other classes of words do not have clear lexical meanings or obvious concepts associated with them, including conjunctions such as and, or, and, but, prepositions such as in and of, the articles the and a or and pronouns such as it. This kind of words are called function words because they specify grammatical relation and have little or no semantic content. Function words are sometimes called closed class words. The linguistic evidence suggests that content words and function words play different roles in language. Content words bear the brunt of the meaning, whereas function words connect the content words to the larger grammatical context. Next. P. Morpheme, the minimal units of meaning. A morpheme may be represented by a single sound, such as the morpheme a meaning without, as in amoral and asexual, or by a single syllable, such as child and is in child plus is. A morpheme may also consist of more than one syllable, by two syllables as in camel, lady, and water, by three syllables as in hackensack and crocodile, or by four or more syllables as in hallucinate, apothecary, and onomatopoeia. A morpheme, the minimal linguistics unit, is thus an arbitrary union of a sound and meaning for grammatical function that cannot be further analyzed. It is often called a linguistic sign, not to be confused with the sign of sign language. This may be too simple a definition, but it will serve our purpose for now. Every word in every language is composed of one or more morphemes. Internet bloggers love to point out inconsistencies in the English language. They observe that while singers sing and flingers fling, it is not the case that fingers fing. Bond and free morphemes. Our morphological knowledge has two components: knowledge of the individual morphemes and knowledge of the rules that combine them. One of the things we know about particular morphemes is whether they can stand alone or whether they must be attached to a base morpheme. Some morphemes like boy, desire, gentle, and man may constitute words by themselves. These are free morphemes. Other morphemes like is, ness, lie, pray, chance, and on are never words by themselves, but are always parts of words. These affixes are bound morphemes. We know whether each affix precedes or follows other morphemes. Thus, an, pre, premediate, prejudge, and bipolar, bisexuals are prefixes. They occur before other morphemes. Some morphemes occur only as suffix, following other morphemes. English examples of suffix morphemes are ing, sleeping, eating, running, climbing, singer, performer, reader, it's, typist, pianist, novelist, linguist, and lee, manly, sickly, friendly, to mention only a few. Next, roots and stems. Morphologically, complex word consists of a morpheme root and one or more affix. Some examples of English roots are pain in painter, read in read, sieve in concept, and link in linguist. A root may or may not stand alone as a word. Pain and read to sieve and link down. In languages that have circumfix, the root is the form around which the circumfix attach. For example, the Chickasaw root "chokum" in Chickchokmo isn't good. In infixing languages, the root is the form into which the infix is inserted. For example, ficus in the Bontoc word fumicas, to be strong. Semitic languages like Hebrew and Arabic have a unique morphological systems. For example, the root for right in Egyptian Arabic is katibi, from which the following words, among others, are formed by infixing vowels. Katab, he wrote; katib, writer; kitab, book; kutub, books. Bone roots do not occur in isolation, and they occur meaning only in combination with other morphemes. For example, words of Latin origin such as receive, conceive, perceive, and deceive share a common root. Save and the words remit, permit, commit, submit, transmit, and admit share the root mit. For the original Latin speakers, the morphemes corresponding to save and mit had clear meanings, but for modern English speakers, Latinate morphemes such as save and mit have no independent meaning. Their meaning depends on the entire word in which they occur. Next, see rules of word formation. First, derivational morphology. When morphemes like ave and cation are called derivational morphemes. When they are added to a base, a new word with a new meaning is derived. The addition of "ify" to purify means to make pure, and the addition of cation, purification, means the process of making pure. If we invent an adjective "posy" to describe the effect of static electricity on hair, you will immediately understand the sentence. Walking on that carpet truly posified my hair, and the best method of posification is to rub a balloon on your head. This means that we must have a list of the derivational morphemes in our mental dictionary, as well as the rules that determine how they are added to a root or stem. And then inflectional morphology. Function would like to, it, and be are free morphemes. Many languages, including English, also have bound morphemes that have a strictly grammatical function. They mark properties such as tense, number, person, and so forth. Such bound morphemes are called inflectional morphemes. Unlike derivational morphemes, they never change the grammatical category of the stems to which they are attached. Inflectional morphemes represent relationship between different parts of a sentence. The grammatical relation of a noun in a sentence is called the case of the noun. When case is marked by inflectional morphemes, the process is referred to a case morphology. Next, the hierarchical structure of word. We saw earlier that morphemes are added in a fixed order. This order reflects the hierarchical structure of the word. A word is not a simple sequence of morphemes, it has an internal structure. For example, the word unsystematic is composed of three morphemes: un, system, and ethic. The root is system, a noun to which we add the suffix ethic, resulting in an adjective systematic. To this adjective we add the prefix "an", forming a new adjective systematic. Next, we have noted that some morphological inflections in particular are productive, meaning that they can be used to form new words. from the list of free and bond morphemes. Among derivational morphemes, the suffix able can be conjoined with any verb to derive an adjective with the meaning of the verb and the meaning of able, which is something like able to be, as in accept plus able, log plus able, pass plus able, change plus able, breathe plus able, adapt plus able, and so on. The projectivity of this rule is illustrated by the fact that we find able affixed to new verbs such as downloadable and flexible. The morphology complex word that we have seen so far, we can generally predict the meaning based on the meaning of the morphemes that make up the word. Unhappy means not happy, and acceptable means fit to be accepted. This is the explanation about true projectivity. Next, other morphological process. Two or more words may be joined to form new compound words. English is very flexible in the kinds of combination permitted. When two words are in the same grammatical category, they can also be in this category noun plus noun. The equal is noun, as in girlfriend, fighter, bomber, paperclip, elevator operator, landlord, mailman. Adjective plus adjective. The result is adjective, as in icicle, red hot, worldly wise. In English, the rightmost word compound is the head of the compound. The head is the part of a word or phrase that determines its birth meaning and grammatical category. Next is an explanation about other morphological process. Bullet surprises. Our knowledge of the morphemes morphological rules of our language is often revealed by the errors we make. We may guess the meaning of a word we do not know, something we guess wrong, but our wrong guesses are nevertheless intelligent. Amsel Green collected errors made by her students in vocabulary building classes and published them in a book called Bullet Surprise. The title is taken from a sentence written by one of her high school students in 1957. Eugene O'Neill won a Pulitzer Prize. What is most interesting about this error is how much they reveal about the student knowledge of English morphology. Next, the Singh language morphology. Singh language are rich in morphology. Like spoken language, Singh belong to grammatical categories. They have root and affix morphemes, free and bond morphemes, lexical content and grammatical morphemes, derivational and flexional morphemes, and morphological rules for their combination to form morphologically complex signs. The affixation is accomplished by preceding or following a particular gesture with another affixing gesture. Last but not least, a morphological analysis identifying morphemes. Speakers of a language have knowledge of the internal structure of a word, because their mental grammars include a mental lexicon of morphemes and the morphological rules for their combination. Morphological analysis is the process of identifying form, meaning units in a language, taking into account small differences in pronunciation. And thank you for watching my presentation.